This morning we are pleased to welcome SGX's CEO Magnus Bocker on the program. He joins us from the Lion City. And Magnus, what a pleasure to have you back on. Congrats on the profits of $70 million. Let's talk about trading revenues right now, because what a quarter. Revenue from derivatives climbing. But there are questions about stability in the markets, especially when people were putting on shorts and didn't know where the markets were headed. Do you feel like we have some more stability returning to the markets now?
First of all, good morning and good to be on the show again. Thank you very much for taking me on. And you're right. I mean, we had a fantastic first quarter this year for us. We saw revenue growth in most of our operations. We were flat on securities, but the other business areas was doing really well, and especially, as you said, in the derivatives business. I think we, as many of our other investors, I think we are on the security side.
Yeah. Go ahead. What about turnover? Because it dropped about 21%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. On the security side, on the classical stock trading, we were flat year on year, but on the derivatives, we were very, very strong, and we had a record quarter. And we see more and more interest for our derivative products. But as you said, I think most investors, whether they are retail or institutions, are very much in a wait-and-see mode right now. And that's what we see, and that's what makes us a little bit cautious for the quarters to come.
Yeah, that's why we saw turnover in September falling by 21% from a year earlier, as I mentioned. Do you feel like this is going to be the trend for the rest of the year? Because DBS has come out saying that trading volumes are unlikely to recover because of the global uncertainty.
I think we have learned that never forecast volumes and never forecast where the markets will go in the neither days or hours or quarters. But I think I share the sort of the cautiousness, because what we see, the debt crisis in US and Europe, of course, and also some of the growth, I think growth nervousness we saw, and you had it on your show just recently and just ahead of me. I mean, we're looking into that and see how can that affect the market. Will have a negative impact, and how much, and what can we do to support it. We still have, and we should remember that we still have a lot of new members coming to Singapore. We have a lot of new products that we take onto the market that will help us to continue to grow.
Yeah, what about Manchester United's IPO? I mean, everyone's looking for that listing. Is that still going to take off, considering the volatility we see in the markets?
As you know, I will never comment on individual companies, but I think I mean, it would be fantastic if we see some European strong brands coming to Singapore, and we are doing whatever we can to make them coming our way, whether it's in the consumer goods business or in shipping business or any other businesses. But I think the interesting with the listing business is we have a strong pipeline. We have never had such a strong pipeline with a lot of good brands looking to Singapore, to come to Singapore and raise money out of Singapore. But they are all waiting and see in the position of waiting. They are looking into the market. They are a little bit careful right now.
Okay, well, you know, we've seen this huge volatility, extreme volatility over the summer months into September, and that's why I guess at your recent shareholders meeting you said that the SGX is going to implement these circuit breakers, meaning what? If shares fall, the stock market falls 9%, 8%, you're going to cut it off at that point? What's the number you're looking for?
All the details is not set yet. What we have, and I've been asked so many times, is about the high-frequency market and high-frequency trading. And we've had a very good experience of high-frequency trading and how they've helped us to grow the derivative market. I think within the next year or two, I think it's very important that we get some of those very sophisticated players into the securities market as well, because they will help the retailers, they will help the institutions to get a more liquid market here in Singapore. But before we do that, it's very important that we put the right rules and regs up. And one of them is, of course, that we have the right technology for it. We implemented on the 15th of August a new platform, and circuit breakers will come within a few quarters as well.
You know, Magnus, you have a lot of cash on hand. At your last balance sheet, we're looking at close to 700 million Sing dollars. There's talk that SGX is going to team up and buy up the London Metals Exchange. Do you think there's going to be any future tie-ups between the SGX and other exchanges?
I think first and foremost, to have a strong balance sheet right now is, I think, very important to us. Remember that we're also a clearinghouse. We are a counterparty for a lot of transactions, especially in the derivative business. We need a strong balance sheet. We need cash on hand in order to be a trusted partners for many of the banks and brokers. When it comes to M&A, I think you've seen it, and we've seen a lot of rumors, and I'll never comment on them. Rest assured, I will be very open and we're very clear as soon as something materializing and we have something to talk about.
All right, Magnus, let me just ask you one more question. Do you think we might have something to talk about once again, say in the before year's end?
I think that we will hopefully have some good products and some good things happening. So I look forward to catch up soon again.
All right, I look forward to chatting once again. Thank you for that, Magnus. Magnus Bocker, Singapore Exchange's CEO, joining us from the Lion City this morning.